COVID-19 has forced us to slow down, restricted our movements, and turn our attention inwards. That's a major lifestyle change for us. Find quiet space, get comfortable, and minimize distractions. Focus and a simple in and out breathe. Choose something meaningful to hold in our minds. The impact of the coronavirus pandemic is unprecedented. I face changes to my working lives, our social lives, and my freedom of movement. Global financial market plunge, recover, and plunge again. Whole countries went into lockdowns. Overthinking is the biggest cause of unhappiness. Anger is a feeling that makes my mouth work faster than my mind. Breathe in love, breathe out peace. Let a piece of sculpture or poetry float through my mind very slowly. Don't worry if we lose focus. That's totally normal. How do we react to the threats coronavirus poses? Well, we all have to understand that things are going to have to change. I may not like that, but flexibility is going to be a must. At the very least, we need to find ways to work as effectively as possible beyond our usual comfort zones. On a positive note, this pandemic situation may drive us to learn new skills and embrace the new technology. To try it, slowly breathing in through our nose for a count of 4, gently pauses, keeping the air in our lungs for a count of 4, exhale slowly for a count of 4, pause for another 4 counts. Repeat it for 10 cycles or until a feeling of calm resumes. Familiar streets feel totally different when people are absent or carefully keeping their distances from each other. When the walls are closing in, turn our neighborhood strolls into a walking meditation. Take notes of the things that I see, I smelled it, I hear it, recorded my observation on the notebooks and audio recording on my phone, or take photos and movies like this. What we do right now is exploring the places, taking a picture of details to discover the world around us, see the world around us with new eyes. My city tourism's information included apps, maps, and self-guided walking tours will depend on my understanding of towns. Walking by public beach, architecture, or nature ocean can provide a new perspective. Many of these resources are available if I am not able to leave the house. It's pretty clear that this is going to be a long haul. Many people face the prospect of having their lives turned upside down for months. It really hit for us when we realized that we might not see families and friends face to face until after the summer. But on the other hand, I can Skype it, FaceTime them, and I'm already starting to discover and master other remote working tools. Maybe we'll find innovative ways to get by after all. The slow living movement reminds us to be mindful of what's around us. It's about cultivating simple pleasures and using our resources wisely, skills and art that is suddenly very useful during the pandemic. Slow living began with an exploration of local, substantial food and has expanded to encompass a more thoughtful, intentional ways of life. Beach, ocean, nature, outdoors can have powerful positive effects on mood, cognition, the creativity, and physical health. Being in nature is an easy way to practice mindfulness too. It's a way to escape it, be alone with my thoughts, experience nature, get the sense of the bigger world. A place to center myself. Many public places and many public park buildings are closed during the COVID-19 pandemic. So Lima researched that before I go and focus on green spaces first to home. Consider homeless areas, wildlife refuges, and pocket parks in my neighborhood. Plenty of water. Stay at least 6 feet away from other people. Stick to trails and avoid any hard surface where the virus can linger. Open the windows to get some fresh air. Tend to indoor plants or take a virtual tours of the beach park. Our brains are soothed with anxious, calmer, with upset by routines. When routines are disrupted, it's important to see aside the time to create order in our minds. Dedicating a few minutes each day to check in with myself and adjust my emotional state. My mental health is being taxed. I'm all feelings things, even if I have not come down with this actual balance. I take a moment to think about what I most needed from my day. I need peace, I need calm, I need to be on the present. Just list them. Then put the list where I can see it on the fridge, my planners, or on notes around the house. The simple act of focusing on the positive attributes I want to cultivate can shift the thoughts away from the negative. Volatile, quick action needed to events outside our control, and silent, future unclear and non-predictable, complex, dynamic network with confusing, conflicting relationships, ambiguous, action without a certain of outcome. I like to keep things simple because I think it's easy to get started on a productive path when thinking and action frameworks are more towards simplicity than complexity. As a starting point, simpler frameworks make it easy to focus a conversation and align me around the goal. There is a risk of oversimplifying things, but as a starting point, I'd rather err to be more careful to self in order to make sure that nothing bad happens on the end of the spectrum than over complexity things to the point where people are frozen into inaction from the lack of clarity or action overall. With that in mind, ambiguous environments are ones in which outcomes and endpoints are not clear. The world and pandemic certainly meets that definition. It's easy to get stuck in a loop of thinkings. This will be over by end of this year. That can lead to a lack of meaningful action. To counteract that dynamic by running small tests and sharing what's learning from them. This test and learn approach is built on the previous steps of identifying the manageable chance. A large part amount of things of action and keeps people engaged in meaningful action loops in which short-term goals and days are clear. Even the longer times endpoints are not. In addition to improving the current state of reality, engaging the people and the test and the long approach gives us reason to hope and keep going. Volatile environments are disrupted ones in which things change rapidly and usually for the worse. Those are the perfect conditions to trigger a fight or flight response and the sympathetic nervous system to focus first on creating a space for ourselves and to think. This could be as simple as reminding ourselves to literally take a couple of steps back. Take 3 deep breaths and then ask, what do we think we are dealing with, and what are the most important things we need to focus on in the short run? Creating space gives us the opportunity to calm ourselves and focus our efforts. Uncertain environment is to do what we can to reduce it uncertainty by gathering data and insights. The data gathering is a focused effort on learning what we can from reliable sources. Insight can come from conversation that with internal and external partners who feel comfortable sharing the truth of what we are seeing from our perspective. In certain situations, an insight can also come from the examining past experience that, while we were not the same as what we are experience now, we can draw it on to help determine what's needed next in the situation. Complexes has lots and lots of variables that interact with and impact each other in potentially unpredictable ways. Combining with uncertainty, complexity can lead to options overload and analysis paralysis. This ability to move to counteract that dynamic is to identify, discrete, clearly separated, manageable chunks of action that could make positive differences. We are not trying to solve for 1%, 100% on any given day. We are trying to solve for 5% or so that will move us closer to bigger solutions. A series of successful 5% solutions usually work a lot better than delaying the action in favor of fully baking the 100% solutions. We usually do not get to 100% anyway, and even when we do, the situation will have changed so much by the time we implemented that the solution is not as effective as we originally hoped it would be. These steps are not just sequential, they are also iterative to get everyone else through this crisis. We will have to keep creating space, gathering data and insights, identifying the manageable chunks of actions, running small tested and learning the whole process over again and again. All our universities are rising to the challenges to the very real crisis we all face it. The challenges that capture best our response to COVID-19 are complexity and variety. Our crisis management responses have been driven by the realizations that the situation has many interconnected parts, and while some information is always available or can be predicted, it is at times overwhelming complexity. However, while the challenges in unexpected and of unknown durations, it is not beyond it comprehensions, even though decisions will need to be made before all the facts are evident. To deliver, to deliver the most effective management responses are the functions of available resources and time. The COVID-19 pandemics will come to an end. So it's important that future is not crowded out while focusing exclusively on the present. This forward gaze is maintained through the university management team with input from the university board. Despite the pandemic, much that is new and positive will come from this experience, including what to do even better next time round. You, as the captain of the ship, you have the responsibility. I'm wondering what you do to cope with the enormity of difficult situation, problems, tasks you direct to the program. I must admit that it is draining physically, psychologically, and emotionally, which has been the routine exercises. This makes me forget about what is happening, relax, and enjoy a normal life. I'm finding it every day that I'm looking forward to tomorrow because we are overcoming the challenges. I'm motivated. I want to do the best I can. I'm counting my work, my mind, and mindfulness.